Hi everyone. So here it is. This is my show, episode 1. The reason why I'm doing this is because when I was younger, in my adolescence, as I was growing up, I figured that the people ahead of me would have all the answers I needed for when I get to their level that they have already left behind. Turns out that that wasn't exactly true. And not only that, but the rest of the world didn't quite get a lot of the answers for the questions that, I figured that we would all be searching for. So I took it upon myself to kind of go through the information that was already out there and put it to the test, because I never really had a first account answer where someone can actually tell me, look, I did this, this is how I got to that level, and this is the only way to get there. There isn't a lot of that out there, and that frustrated me. So it became a early on life mission for myself. I took it upon myself to try to go about it the route that I would expect for a normal living human being without excessive resources, with what is just naturally available. So I'm not going to go into the keto diet or these fads that are out right now. I think that humanity just within itself is trying to fix something that isn't broken. We can actually become a thriving genome of humans that are functioning like we should. Consuming and being mentally stable, and I'll get into that one right now, big time. And just living out our lives to the fullest of our capacity. And so, just not to get off subject, all of that stuff is achievable. To be a good person, just overall, in health and up here. Because what a lot of you may not know is how to put it in terms where you can understand it. And the only way for you to get there is to have a lot of time to think. And you don't really have that. No one does. By the time you're done with work, at work, or whatever it is that you're doing in your daily life that consumes you, you're just focusing on relaxing. You don't really want to occupy that extra time with something else that burdens you. And this something else is so critical to our futures, and it's kind of upsetting that no one has ever prepared us critically for it, and we really need to be prepared for it, because after all, as we get older, we become to deteriorate, and if we're not doing anything to counter that, how do we expect to have a fulfilled retirement? As far as I see it, the biggest problem that we have is not being addressed, and that's ourselves. One of the things I want to get across to you now, while I have your attention, is on the surface, I really can care less. This is not some ploy to get popular or for someone to give me acknowledgement. When I was growing up, again, I needed the advice, and I was willing to listen, and all I wanted was for someone to give it to me cut and dry without any sugarcoating. And as young as I was, I knew that that was going to be painful, but I was still ready for it. So what I'm doing right now, is for that group of people. For the group of people that are already out there and they don't need to be pushed over the edge to know what's at the bottom. It's my way of giving you that support and stability, so that way when you get down that road, you'll start to be able to acknowledge the key points in your life that you're actually on the right path. To put it in more basic terms, I want you to know that you're on the right path when you're going down that road. This is not going to be very, for lack of better words, it's not going to be extremely educational to the point to where I'm going to break it down to the very last detail as far as facts are concerned, because I learned what was important and I wanted to put it in terms for you to understand it. And in order for me to do that, I had to absorb a lot of information and really cut it down so that way I could explain it without you really having to take notes and do all the things that you know that you don't need to be doing to your life already as busy as it is. So this is my testament to you, and I challenge you to counter anything that I tell you to do with some kind of first-hand evidence, something you have done, because after all, we are here to learn from each other. And if you can teach me something that I haven't learned, I would be, I would appreciate that to a level you don't understand. So again, this is really a life mission of mine to help you understand that your body is a direct result of what is in your mind. And that's why on my Instagram and my YouTube, you'll hear me bounce back and forth from, working out to, being at a certain place, or, to try certain foods out. Like, it's all things that I am trying to do to get you to start shifting towards other directions. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be the right thing for you. Ultimately, it needs to be something that is new, because what you're doing right now doesn't really help you. And I know you're tired of the standard that your body is holding you to, and hopefully with everything that I'm going to be putting out, it's going to give you a formula for your own legacy. It's not like a health plan that is going to fix you because I say so. I'm going to tell you what you need to do so that way you can go home and try it and see if it works. We have the time. In a year we can accomplish so much. You don't even have to question that. I've seen it done. You've seen it done. If you go to YouTube, there's so many stories of inspiration of people that, don't even have limbs, that are achieving things that, you should be achieving on even with your work life and your busy family and all that stuff. I have examples of that. I'm going to share it with you. Anyhow, I hope I've given you enough for you to understand what my mission is, what I'm here to do. It's time to go out more and get those pictures that you appreciate looking at. There are emotions to have ahead of you. There are things to experience, and hopefully I can help uplift you from whatever it is that I hope that I can do something to help uplift you away from what your standard is right now to a higher standard. So until episode 2, I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna let y'all check that out.